Earlier, you mentioned something powerful, that what NASA hides might not only be about aliens, but about the very fabric of reality. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Sure. Let's consider this. Modern physics already tells us the universe is far stranger than we can imagine. Quantum mechanics, relativity, multiverse theories, these suggest reality might not be as solid as we think. Now imagine if NASA, through its telescopes or classified research, found evidence of parallel universes, higher dimensions, or even signals that defy our current physics. Revealing that would be more disruptive than even confirming alien life.
That's mind-blowing. So you're saying the real secrets might be cosmic truths that change our entire perception of existence?
Exactly. Think about black holes. Officially, they're regions of space-time where gravity is so strong nothing escapes. But some theories suggest they might be gateways, wormholes, or even storage points for the information of entire universes. What if NASA already has data hinting at this? What if they've detected patterns that suggest intelligence or structure behind what we call chaos in the universe?
That would mean the universe itself might be designed, or at least not entirely random.
Precisely. And that takes us into deeply philosophical territory. If NASA stumbled upon evidence of design or intelligence on a cosmic scale, how would humanity react? Religion, philosophy, and science would collide like never before.
But then, here's the dilemma. Is it ethical to hide such knowledge, or is it more ethical to reveal it even if it risks destabilizing society?
That's the paradox. From a purely scientific perspective, knowledge should be free. But from a political and sociological perspective, unleashing certain truths could lead to fear, collapse of institutions, or even global conflict. Imagine countries racing to weaponize alien technology or dark energy if it became public. The stakes are enormous.
And what about time? Could NASA have information that challenges our understanding of time itself?
That's another fascinating angle. Some researchers believe that anomalies in deep space, like strange energy signals or unexplainable gravitational effects, might suggest time isn't linear everywhere. If NASA has evidence that time behaves differently in certain regions of space, it would open doors to concepts like time travel, or at least time manipulation. But again, imagine the implications of that knowledge. It could rewrite human history and our future.
So maybe the real secret isn't just, are we alone, but what is reality really?
Exactly. And if NASA holds pieces of that puzzle, whether through missions, telescopes, or data locked away in archives, the decision to reveal or conceal it isn't just about science. It's about the survival and direction of humanity as a whole.
We've talked about theories and possibilities, but let's ground this in stories. NASA has been around for decades. Are there specific moments in their history where you think the truth was hidden, or at least carefully managed?
Oh, there are plenty. Let's start with Apollo 11, the moon landing in 1969. The world saw the famous footage of Neil Armstrong taking that giant leap for mankind, but few people talk about the 2 minutes of lost transmission. During that blackout, rumors say the astronauts reported seeing strange objects watching them from the edge of a crater. NASA brushed it off as technical glitches, but the mystery lingers.
I've heard about that. Some even claim astronauts used a separate encrypted channel to describe what they saw.
Exactly, and that's just one story. Fast forward to the Mars missions. When the Viking landers in the 1970s ran biological experiments, one of the tests actually gave a positive result for life. Instead of celebrating, NASA dismissed it, saying it must have been a chemical reaction. To this day, some scientists argue that Viking may have already discovered microbial life on Mars, but the finding was buried.
That's fascinating. It's almost like the narrative is controlled to prevent too much excitement.
Precisely. And then there are the Hubble telescope anomalies. Over the years, astronomers claim images were scrubbed before release, sections blurred out, objects removed. A few insiders have even alleged that Hubble captured structures on the Moon or Mars that were never made public.
And now we have the James Webb Space Telescope. Do you think history is repeating itself?
I think it's likely. James Webb is peering deeper into the universe than ever before. If it stumbled upon an unmistakable sign of alien civilization, like artificial megastructures around a star, would NASA release it instantly? Or would they stage the information, drip-feeding it to the world over years?
It seems like every major milestone has its own shadows. Even with UFOs, NASA's statements are cautious, almost dismissive.
Exactly. Yet the Pentagon's UAP reports confirm what pilots have seen, craft moving with impossible speed and physics. So why the silence from NASA? Maybe because acknowledging these phenomena would open a floodgate of questions they're not ready or allowed to answer.
This makes me wonder if NASA's role isn't just exploration, but also gatekeeping.
That's the key word. NASA doesn't just collect data. It decides what humanity is allowed to know about the cosmos. Whether it's the moon, Mars, exoplanets, or dark energy, there may be entire chapters of the universe that we've never been permitted to read.
Epic cliffhanger, storytelling edge. So maybe the greatest stories of space, the alien ruins, the hidden signals, the secrets of creation, aren't in science fiction at all. Maybe they're already written in NASA's files, waiting to be revealed.
And when those stories finally surface, they might not just change how we see the stars, but how we see ourselves.
You know what gives me chills? Those leaked recordings and eyewitness accounts tied to NASA missions. Let's revisit one of the most famous, Apollo 11.
Ah, yes, the legendary off-air conversation. According to some reports, Armstrong and Aldrin described massive objects positioned near the rim of a crater. The transmission was supposedly cut, and only a handful of insiders ever heard what was really said. To the public, it was just static. But to those who claimed to know, it was evidence we weren't alone.
And think about the courage it took for astronauts to even whisper about it later in life. Some of them hinted at things they couldn't talk about. That silence speaks volumes.
Exactly. And the pattern repeats. In the 1980s, during the shuttle missions, several astronauts reported unidentified lights and objects trailing their craft. NASA officially labeled them ice crystals, but many believe that explanation was just a cover story.
The Mars stories give me the same eerie feeling. The Viking experiment you mentioned, why would NASA downplay potential life?
Because admitting life exists, even in microbial form, changes everything. Imagine the domino effect. Religion, philosophy, biology, all rewritten. And yet when the Curiosity rover sent images that looked suspiciously like structures, NASA dismissed them as rocks shaped by wind. Convenient, isn't it?
And now, with the James Webb Telescope, the silence is louder. It's looking at exoplanets with signs of atmospheres, chemicals like methane, oxygen, even water vapor. If we find a planet with biosignatures, will they actually tell us, or will they stall, just like before?
That's the heart of it. Every breakthrough brings us closer to answers, but every answer seems delayed, diluted, or denied. It's like they're slowly spoon-feeding humanity so we don't choke on the truth.
Which makes me think, what if NASA already knows the end of the story? What if they've already pieced together the big picture and we're just catching crumbs?
Imagine that. Imagine they've already mapped alien contact or uncovered the architecture of the universe itself, but locked it away under national security. That would mean we're living in a curated reality, a version of truth carefully crafted for us.
Almost like we're in the audience of a play, seeing only what the stage manager allows.
Exactly. And behind the curtain, the real universe, the one NASA glimpses, might be far stranger, darker, and more awe-inspiring than we're prepared for.
Cinematic cliffhanger, suspenseful edge. So the question isn't just, what is NASA hiding? It's, how much of reality itself have they already edited out?
And when that curtain finally lifts, will humanity applaud, or will we be terrified by what we see?
Let's take our listeners back to July 20th, 1969. The world is holding its breath. Apollo 11 has landed on the moon. Millions are glued to their televisions. Neil Armstrong steps out, says the famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." But what most people don't know is that there was another transmission, the 2-minute blackout. During that time, the public feed cut out. What happened next has fueled conspiracy theories for decades. Some insiders claim Armstrong and Aldrin saw something they couldn't explain. Enormous structures? Or even unidentified craft watching them from a distance. NASA says it was just a technical glitch, but many believe they saw something.
Right, and there's the unspoken story about the alternate communication channel, the one not accessible to the public. If true, if Armstrong and Aldrin believed they saw strange things, then imagine what else has been hidden over the years.
And how far does NASA go to control the narrative, which controls what we know about our place in the universe? It's like they're editing reality, and we're just seeing the approved version. There's more to know about the moon than just its dust. Immersive.
Immersive cliffhanger. Apollo Edge. So, maybe Apollo wasn't humanity's first step into space? Maybe it was our first encounter. And if that's true, then the moon isn't just a silent rock in space, it's the first chapter of a story NASA still refuses to tell.